Greetings, welcome. So just light a little bit here, get some mood lighting going. So this is session 3 of Thousand Year Old Vampire. And it has been a heck of a journey already. I've been pretty impressed with this game. It's pretty awesome. Offers us so much to do with just some prompts. Some basic rules and some prompts, and you got a story that you're making right out in front of you. It's pretty amazing stuff. So, before we continue on, let's do some checking around. Let's kind of take stock of what we have. Let's see here. All right. So, character Guillaume d'Avignon, formerly a crusader, a squire from d'Avignon, France. His skills. Up to I know how to serve. These are his original skills. So, swordsmanship, horsemanship, I know how to serve. So the X's are checked, and this grayed out one, these grayed out ones or anything like that is lost when you're told to lose a skill. So yeah, I haven't checked swordsmanship yet. That's pretty cool. So I've gotten some new ones in the meantime. Burrowing through one of the prompts. Basically, figuring out how to survive the daylight underground. Digging. Prayer and the Sleeping was one of his things. And now it's kind of changed to Boldly Feed. Like basically just walk right up and take it type of thing, or at least he has the ability to do so. Entertain the Rich, that was done when kind of coming upon a coach of two very rich siblings who were stranded and kind of helped them out and then entertained them, and they kind of took him in. So entertain the rich, tell them stories from his uncle in the Crusades, since it could have been him. Let's see here. We have Know the Rosary. This is actually enigmatic type of thing. So basically, he's found that the act of saying the Rosary does cause him discomfort. At least we haven't decided to what level, but I'm feeling like it's kind of like a keep you at bay type of thing, as long as you can say it. So knowing the Rosary is when I kind of recognize that that's about, or etc. Boldly Feed, like I said, we kind of right before we went home to Davignon. Pardon me. Just inside, or just outside rather, we came upon a caravan of merchants that were made to stay outside the city limits, and he basically fed on a whole bunch of them, and he just kind of reveled in his power at that point. Gruff Passage. This comes from basically the last prompt of the game, last session, I think. He basically found that he had to what do you call it? Basically use his power and intimidation to get by people, as opposed to just really just rip their heads off and go. Expedient and left less of a mess, that kind of thing. All right, so my marks. So marks are kind of what set vampires apart from normal humans, be it powers or things. In this case, I chose a thing. So my original, and only so far, I haven't gotten a prompt that has prompted me for any other marks. So my mark is my wrist seep blood akin to stigmata. I wear gloves and wristbands to cover it. So my original, the vampire who brought me over, if you will, Lamia, she bit at my wrists and drank my blood from there. So that's kind of like the remnant of that experience. All right, so let's go to let's leave memories for last. Let's go to characters. So yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of grayed out characters. People have been died or murdered. Um, Several of these over time, and actually one of my prompts said basically, someone from your past is, I forget what the exact prompt is, but basically an immortal was created, who basically killed every living mortal that I knew, and that was Victoria. So this wayfish thief I originally met on the Crusaders Road is kind of a quinky dink type of meeting, and kind of a interesting little character. So that was, I kind of kept a hold on to her, and she ended up being the one that Lamia, the vampires who turned me, transformed into this weird, not quite vampire hunter and sent after me. Could have killed me, maybe could have, or I stopped her rather. but didn't. Anyway, so that leaves basically Dimitri, an alchemist, man in possession of the Philosopher's Stone, who has actually taken a liking to me in a romantic sense. And I've been basically the last few prompts I've had have been brushing off his advances and taking them more, not understanding that they were advances, and taking them as potential like wardings and attacks, not being hip to the ways of romance in this era. It's I think about 100 years. He's almost 100 years old right now. I guess he's getting up there. I think we'll do the math in a second. So let's see. So basically, these people are all dead. Aziz. Basically, I found a vampiric lover. Aziz Aman, originally from Egypt, a vampire also traveling like me. And Saul, originally started as a head and box, but we made him a full body. Saul is a golem made by Jewish mysticism. And we all know the various legends and lore and that kind of thing. So yeah, Saul was originally came to us as Aziz and me as a head in the box, Aziza and me as a head in the box, and we that sounds so wrong. But one of the prompts we other elsewise came to had us create him a whole body, so we did. So now he's this. So basically, we're this traveling trio who's just left Vienna, a vampire lover, and a big golem. So that's an interesting trio for the road. So let's go to resources. So as you can see, I've lost a bunch of resources in my time. What I still have, ironically, well, not ironically, strangely, is my camping kit from when I was just a squire, and it's still there, so it's still available to be used as a resource. I have a science book in Arabic and a boulder of gold. This was one of Dimitri's gifts to me. Him being a actual alchemist, one of the besides the Philosopher's Stone, what are they known for? Turning base metals into gold. So this was like almost like a courting gift, I think. But again, Guillaume doesn't get that, and again saw this like offering as more of a show of power and a threat than a courtship type of thing. And who knows what he would have done anyway. Interesting. Interesting to think. So let's see. So now let's go into let's first go to forgotten memories. Let's see here. So I basically forgot about a bunch of the stuff. Some of the stuff on the road. I actually don't remember Dimitri. So this is a kind of interesting. So Dimitri was not one of my first prompts. I think he was within the first four, or 4 or 5 prompts. So I introduced him, and basically he paralyzed me and took some of my blood to use in his own alchemy, and then it's kind of I kind of treat him as one of those characters who those immortals who kind of gets bored and like will do anything for kicks after a while. So yeah, kind of he remained in my background, but I totally forgot about meeting him. And of course, he didn't forget about meeting me. So when it came to Vienna, where I met up with him again, I knew nothing. My memory of him is just gone. I forgot it. I gave it up. So some training. This field where I end up losing my horse to an abet. And this Abdullah is dead. He was long killed by Victoria. Let's see. I had that book of science written in Arabic, but I don't recall how I got it. Let's see. So this is kind of my memories of the road, and I forgot a whole lot about it. So I don't even remember where I got this burrowing ability from. It's just not there anymore. I don't recall meeting Victoria, so that was interesting. I forget where I got rid of that. But so at this point at least, I believe I still knew her when she came back as this monster to get me, and all that I knew. But I think that was since then I gave this up. So now I don't remember. I remember her. I just don't remember where the heck I met her. Let's see here. So this is rich travelers who are dead. A bunch of people that are dead that I don't care to remember anymore. Yeah, so I forget the feeding outside of Avignon. So I even had some superstitions that were created from me and my, movements and actions throughout the years. I fulfill a vow. So I forget. So this is where we get the head in the box, which is a golem. So I forget where I got it, and it's not important. He's or Saul is just traveling with us at this point, and vampires have to give up memories, and that's just the way it goes. So let's see what I do have, what I have retained. So still, I know my origins. I know that my name is Guillaume d'Avignon. Where I came from, how I originated. I remember this is kind of origin related stuff. So Lamia is equally my origin as any. So I kind of have some Lamia memories here. Let's see here. So this is kind of like, I think this is solitude. I think we came up with this as like the common theme here. So yeah, so kind of solitude or sanctuary, holding up. So yeah, this is where Dimitri, how I even killed him or tried to crush him, but you can't kill him, even though I could not really harm him, etc., etc. Let's see. So I even forgot. I kind of immediately got and then forgot how Saul got his body. So I don't remember that even. Oh, I'm sorry. This is all memories I do have. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. So yes, I still have memories of um, Saul's not his origin with us, but how he gave him a body. And I do, of course, remember Aziz. I remember a meeting of my vampiric lover. He and I. So I remember that, and this is kind of memories of my first forays as a vampire. That's the common thread here. So all very cool stuff. I'm glad I have this. It's gonna again. It's I can see it's good. I can see I'm getting to a point where I'm certainly going to be hard pressed to give up memories. But we'll see. We'll see. And it's kind of funny. It's like pardon me. Since you can only have like three experiences per memory, it's like, oh, I wanted to stick this with that because there's a common theme, but now it's time to get rid of something, and I have all the stuff I don't care about, but the stuff I do care about is there too, and I have to give it up potentially. So I'm getting to that point where memories are starting to become potentially, you know, this is the heartbreak coming up, that kind of thing. All right, so that's that. Let's see here. So I've covered characters, resources, forgot memories, and character sheet. As for the diary, I've yet to actually make a diary, so we'll have to see about that. Um, so as a note, before we get started in completely here, um, I am using the alternate prompts of Thousand Year Old Vampire. So there are the main prompts that kind of are presented in the book, and then there's several appendices, one of which is alternate prompts, and that's the one I'm using. So let's see here. Set to get to that point, and then we'll get started. We'll get started with prompts right away and get to the adventuring. Let's see. Sorry, it's taking a second. Let's see. All right. So let's actually go to my journal, which is where I kind of keep all the information here. So let's see. So right now, as you can see, so here's my number identifications. So here's in chronologically how many prompts I've had. So right now I've gone through in three. This is my third session. So up until now I've gone through 21 prompts. My present prompt is prompt 42. I was on the second one of it. So prompts, if you land on them multiple times, some have layers. Like first time you do this, second time you do this, third time you do this. Should you hit them? So I'm on my second one, and we'll kind of re-go over that. And then the last one is the year and common era format. So 1170 common era. Oh, hey Loppy, how are you doing? No, not at all. I'm glad to have you along again. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good night. Always good to have you. No need to rush on my account. All right, so let's get to 42. All right. So 42, the second one, just to kind of preface this coming up prompt, was basically the second in the basically the first in this prompt was you discovered a mortal and are immediately smitten. Create a mortal character. So I already had Dimitri, so I just used him, Dimitri the alchemist. So I landed on this again, and now the second one was you become obsessed with the mortal. Oh wait, hold a second. That's not right. Territory. Oh yeah, fun line of them. Is this the root one? Am I hooked on the crack again? Let's see here. Okay. So I'm sorry. Yes, the reason I'm confused is 43 is the one I was originally on. The second one of that. So basically, this courting rituals got out of hand with Dimitri. I don't get it. Um, and how do I mistake this? How do I mistake their courtship as like machination, something else? So that was this prompt before, and then this prompt was become obsessed with the mortal, following them, longing to be with them. You abandon habits and recklessly moved into dangerous territories. So this was kind of a good prompt for me to say, okay, so I'm being my lover is Azizi, and I am wanting to be with him, and I am being threatened, as far as I'm concerned, by this Dimitri guy, and it's time to get the hell out of Dodge. So we decided to pick up roots and boldly go into the unknown, just out of town, out of his way. I basically run him over with my horse, and find ourselves on the road elsewhere. And that's where we start our night off. So let's jump right into a prompt. I kind of have a system, and I every time I start a session, I forget about it. But you'll kind of see the revolution of prompts, etc. So let's go back here, and let's get a place to start. All right, so let's do a prompt roll. Okay, -3, going backwards. All right, so let's see here. So I was on 43, -3. This 40. Here we go. Let's see. This is a weird one. So again, as a note, I'm doing the alternate prompts. So these, by definition, these kind of sometimes go against the rules. They're either nonsensical or foolish or weird. And I've reserved the right, since I'm doing these, to skip over ones that are nonsensical. This does not seem like one of those, but it's going to put it out there for the session here. So 40. This is, haha, what is this new delight? Why, I could dedicate all my hours to this marvelous activity. I think I would. Gain a skill about a foolish pastime. Oh, this is interesting. I did not see this coming. I did not see this coming. So let's see. What will that be? I generally have, let's see. So I have to gain a skill. Let's go back, actually go back and look at our skills. What will this skill be? This is a tough one. I've noticed that the first prompts are always kind of like the most challenging. So let's see. I have to create a skill about some kind of weird activity. So we're on the road. We've escaped from trouble. Let's see here. So what is this pastime? I could do it all day. This is so hard. Again, these just kind of getting the creative juices running are the hardest part of the sessions. Otherwise, things kind of generally flow. But let's see. So something frivolous. Let's say, well, we could go with gambling. I think that's like it seems like a good one. So let's say, let's see, let's call it cards. Let's call it playing cards. Playing cards. And sorry, it's taking me a second. Alright, light and two. There we go. Or did I not do light here? I'm sorry. Oh man, why is this the hardest part of my night so far? Killing me. Okay, well, we're gonna leave it like that. I don't care. All right, so playing cards. So what I've been doing, I believe, is let's go to the journal and make the journal entry right away. And kind of make everything else from there. So let's see. So this is prompt 22. Let's see here. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Oh, crap. Did I do the wrong one? May have chosen the wrong one. But since we're already here, let's go with it. All right, so 40. All right, so 2, 40. It's the first one, and then let's call it 1170. All right. So let's see. Let's also take a quick look gander at the world. Again, I'm not really too concerned with like the specifics of places or the history at the time. If something pops up, I may check it out. But let's say so let's see. So Vienna. Let's go to Poland. All right. After yeah. So let's see here. All right. So after a few weeks of traveling, we three find ourselves in the kingdom of Poland. The culture changes, the language shifts, and we're probably just in Poland, so this is like on the border of lands here. Yes. But men are men, and beasts are beasts. We take shelter in a boarding house in a medium-sized village. And let's see, one of the distractions therein are heavy drinking, men and women gathered around a table playing a game with cards. At first, during the nights, I sit and watch them, taking in the rules and the subtleties of each player. They enjoy the nighttime hours almost as much as I. Let's see. Before long, I'm playing and strangely winning. I have never been one for games of chance, but it seems like these games of cards do allow for some degree of skill along with the happenstance. I am a predator, so I am also a keen observer of my prey. I take no little delight in taking away the money from my opponents and doing with it as I will. Perhaps I've found a new way to make money as we travel. Almost. New trade. Alright. Cool. So let's, next from here, let's go and create the memory, or the experience rather, that goes in memory. Let's see here. Okay, and see if it fits under any of them or if I have to start giving stuff away. Let's see here. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm not sure. So like this one, I could put it here with like a, travel down the road thing, but I had seen this memory as being of like memories of Aziz specifically. So let's see. Oh wow, we're kind of getting down to the nitty gritty here. So song information. I mean, this one is not important to me. How we got a body doesn't matter. It's that that we travel together still, that we are companions, and that memory I retained. But just this, how we gave it to him. So let's do this. Let's get rid of this one. And again, I really haven't found a reason or a memory yet that I care to, keep in a diary. So I haven't made a diary yet. I just haven't found one important enough. But let's move this to forgotten memories. Let's see here. All right. We're running out of space here, so I may end up kind of moving things back, but let's see how we do. All right. All right, so let's go make our memory. Oops. All right, memory 3. All right, I discovered that I have some skill with cards, and that the knowledge may serve me well. Have I found a new vocation? A vampire gambler. Not the most ludicrous story you've heard with vampire along with it. Alright, so that's that. It's time for another prompt already. We're kind of rolling along already. So let's see what we have. Let's see here. Alright, 5. Okay. Alright, so 40 plus 5 is 45. Ooh, interesting. So, let's see. This is interesting. So I don't have a diary. So this is what the prompt reads. 45. Your diary is stolen. Months later, you discover your most intimate passages published under a pseudonym. The story greatly aggrandized and romanticized. Lose your diary. So, ironically, if I had made a diary, I would have lost it right now. But let's go with that prompt. I'm not gonna. I don't lose anything. There's. I mean, I could like give up that one book, but it's really nothing that would affect me like this. I'm gonna say someone wrote about me. So I think that's gonna be it. This is just gonna be a diary entry and a experience. So as I've noticed, a lot of these alternate prompts, it's hard to really cost you anything. And I think that's how they made them. So it's like there's like 250 of them compared to like only like I think 90 normal prompts, because like as you get up to the 70s, your death is nigh. You're going to die real soon once you get into the 70s of the normal prompts. That's the end of the game. But this goes up to like 250, and I don't recall actually seeing like death prompts. So we'll see how this goes. So anyway, um, take it as it is. But yeah, let's say that I just got the lobby. So Guillaume knows when to hold him, knows when to fold him, knows when to walk away, and knows when to run. Yeah, thankfully, hopefully, he'll be doing a lot less running. Um, he is a vampire after all, so I mean, when the worst comes to worst, you can always just kill everybody and take their money, if that were to come to it. But yes, yes. Wouldn't that be interesting if like the tales of his gambling came down to like Kenny Rogers, in the story that passed on through the ages, and that's where the story came from. It could be. That could be a prompt. That could be a prompt. But that's not this. That's not this prompt. All right. So let's see here. So yeah, let's go into prompts. Let's go in the journal, and then we'll create the experience, and we'll be already on the next one. We're cruising. Let's see here. Yeah, let's see it there. And here we are. Okay. All right. So this is our 23rd prompt. 23. This is 45. It's the first of it, and again, we're going to keep calling this one 1170. You know what? Let's call it 1171. Let's say they find a place. Let's see here. Bring this up. All right. So, okay. During my travels in Poland, I came upon a small bookshop in one of the smaller cities. Just a quaint little place. Actually, off of the beaten path. Truth be told, I was as equally ready to buy a new book as I was to feed from the shopkeeper. As fate may have it, and luck for the shopkeeper, I came upon a published work that told of where we want it to go from. Let's say it's back in the Crusades. This is a while ago now. And back, yeah. So by the way, he would have been a vampire at C71, 72 years. 1099 is when he got made a vampire. So he's 72 years old. Well, 72 plus. I think we agreed at 18. So that's 90. He's 90. All right. Let's say let's say it was like his stories of the Crusades. Even though he's never made a diary, he probably has told some stories around a campfire. So and maybe even, before he killed somebody, or there were survivors. He didn't kill everybody. He told stories to. So yeah, let's see here. Let's see here. Was a work that told of travels of a young squire from Avignon who, let's see here, fought at major battles, served under a demanding knight, and would never return home from the Crusades, but had instead been delivered to the kingdom of heaven through his acts. The details touched a little too closely to home. I may need to think about not being so chatty around campfires. ... All right. So let's go and make that an experience, and we'll move on to the next. Let's see. Let's see. Where would I put this? So I'm gonna like discoveries in Poland. Things in Poland. Is that our thing? Yeah, let's go for that. Why not? This will be the theme. Will be while in Poland. Let's see here. I came upon a book that told of my late mortal exploits in the Crusades. Must learn to tell fewer tales in earshot of aspiring writers. Excellent. Oops, that's what I want. Oops. All right. Close enough. All right, so let's go to the next prompt. 0. Interesting. Okay, let's see if there's a second prompt for this. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Okay, we'll go with this. So the prompt is the second prompt of this same one. So diary stolen. Again, I've had no diary stolen, but we've established that instead, tales of my mortal adventures had been told in a book. So this next one is you receive pages from your diary along with a note asking you to meet the mysterious reader. What surprises you about them at the rendezvous? Do they fully understand your immortal nature? Regain 2 memories from the lost diary and add them to the current diary. Ooh. Well, you know what? Let's see. So that's interesting. So I don't, but we've established as memories of my late mortality. So let's see if I have a couple of forgotten memories that I can then shunt to a diary. I mean, that sounds reasonable with this prompt. In fact, I think it's probably the best one for this one. If necessary, the current diary can expand to hold up to 6 entries. Is not necessary. I think a diary can only hold 3 memories. So let's see. Let's go figure out what memories and then pop those in the diary and kind of go from there. This is why you keep along the forgotten memories, because there are prompts where they can come back. Same with anything else, really, I think. Let's see here. Probably not this one. Um, oh, see, the problem is these memories kind of hash half of my past into not past. Let's see. At the end. Yeah, see, this is before and after. This is after. Follows me. So let's see here. Let's say just because I want to do something for this prompt, but I do want to do the things that are most logical. Um, let's see here. I wonder. So it's 2 memories. Um, Otherwise I would take like these 2. But that'd be cheating, I think. But you know what? I'm just gonna take like. I think I'm gonna take. So I'm gonna take 2 memories, but I'm only going to take an experience from each of them and pop them in the diary. I think that's fair, given kind of what I've imposed on myself here. So let's get that over to the diary. And then now I've placed them there. Of course, they can't be expanded on, so there's none of that. Let's see. Text. And let's paste that. When I can put one more memory in here, so these will be 2 memories. Even though only 2 experience for memories, I'm treating them like that for logical purposes here. These will be 2 memories, even though I'm only taking part of the memories. How many times must I repeat that, right? Alrighty. And let's see. Actually, I mean, these are, once the diary goes, it goes. So let's just put these all together. Okay. All right, so those are two memories in my diary. I have one more I could put in here, and so again, diaries. I've never done it in this game yet, but they're basically, um, they are. Oh, 4 memories total. Thank you, Lappy. Lappy is always my excellent companion and rules helper. So many thanks to Lappy. Uh, let's see here. So yeah, so I'm going to call this two memories. But basically, a diary is basically you don't remember it, but you can recall the memory by reading it, but you not recalling it, but it's literal. So what you read is what you know exactly. There's no real, oh, I know the subtlety of this thing type of thing. It's what's there is what's there. So it's not as valuable as a memory or as useful, but it's there if you need to retain something. So now I have a diary. I'm not going to put it in my items only because I know that's right here, so I'm not too worried about that. All right, so let's get I'm just going to bring myself back to this memory, and let's go ahead and do the journal right away. Okay. So let's see here, 45. So this is the 24th prompt. 45 again, 2. And I'm gonna say let's let a couple years pass. 73. Kind of give it this book thing time to marinate. So yeah. So Lappy, I've been meaning to ask, how close are you to getting your own vampire story out there from the game? I'm curious to read it. Let a guy know. Sounds cool. All right, so let's read over what this prompt says again. Make sure I get it all. So you see pages from a diary, or I'll say like excerpts from the book that like are more specifically with my name on them, that kind of thing. What surprises you at the rendezvous? Do they fully understand your mortal nature? Interesting that they don't have me make a character for this, so I won't. Do they fully understand your mortal nature? I am going to say I'm going to say yes. You know what? I'm going to say this is. Oh, here we go. I got this. This is going to be interesting. So, let's see here. So, well, spending my time in the cities of Poland, going from one to the next, I am approached by a messenger with a secret meeting as his message, and the message is what do you call it? It's addressed to me as Guillaume Davignon, Squire of, and let's see here, I have to get his name, Squire Sir Terence of Bath. Squire of Sir Terence of Bath, England, for anyone wondering. All right. Intrigued, but careful. Oop. See what Lappy says? Lappy says, I'm pretty sure I'm only a few prompts away from a death prompt, so hopefully I'll have something done soon. I'm thinking I may write a couple of blog posts that sort of chronicle my vampire's life. I'll post the link on my Twitter and tag you. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's awesome. And if you're really, really wanting to continue on, there's always, go, instead of the death prompt, pick an alternate prompt and go alternate from there. See how you do. So let's see. Let's get back to the post. Thank you again, Lappy. Not Flappy. Lappy. So let's see. So intrigued but careful. I decide decided to attend the meeting alone. When I arrived at the time and place of the meeting, I found myself face to face with someone who could only be of the line of Sir Terence. Oh, nice! Sloppy! I will watch that. I will try to be as good a watcher as you, assuming the time is okay. I am not available all the time, but I am a fan. Just from little you told me, it's pretty intriguing already. It's hard not to have intriguing plot lines with these prompts, I gotta say. All right, so let's see. Sometimes it's basically only be this line of Sir Terence. With a grin, he introduced himself as George. Let's see, so it's 70. Let's say there's in this age, like a generation, people die at 30. So let's say, so two and a half generations. So it'll be, let's see, Terrence would have had a child, a grandchild, and a great-grandchild. Okay, so great grandson of Terrence himself. He had done research through the years and found strange discrepancies in the story of the fate of his great grandfather, young Squire. Investigating them more thoroughly, he then noted that he had dug as deeply as he could, put together the clues, and decided that I had been an angel from God in disguise, watching over the elder crusader, and that when my time with him was done, I'd simply gone on to the next such soul that needed my personage. I've been trying to work personage into a sentence for a good 3 months now, so thank you, 1,000-year-old vampire. With that, she bowed, gave me a copy of his latest work on me, and continued on his way. Interesting. I find it interesting, and I've just created it, so good job, Scott. All right, so let's create a memory out of that, and then we'll go straight to the next prompt to see what everything holds for us. All right, so let's see. I think let's just put it here. I'll add it to the third memory. I'll have to make some room here on the page. Let's see. I met up with the author of my story, who was a descendant of my knight. He thinks me an angel, and I will let him live with that illusion. Alright, so let's make some room. Oop. Oh my. Oop. Oop, we gotta change that in a second. Hold on. Okay. So let's move this down. Oh, I did it again. Alright. Having just a little bit of trouble with Roll20 here. Alright, there we go. Okay, so that's interesting. Cool. Alright, so let's continue on. I said it was really like a I suppose that wasn't a do nothing prompt because I did gain 2 pages to diary out of it, but that was interesting. Well, let's see what we get. So we're on 45 plus 4. All right, so 45 plus 4, 49 in the alternate prompts. Oh, interesting. And this is so interesting that this prompt proceeds off the last. So prompt 49 is you become ashamed of the past you no longer connect with, and go to great lengths to destroy any histories which contain you. How do you do this? Do you succeed? If you physically tear a page out of a book, an actual physical real world book, not an in-game book, gain 1 skill. Oh, I'm not going to do it. I will not. I will not tear a page out of any of my books. Sorry. I will not. I will have to check a skill. I will. That is an interesting prompt. So the prompt says, you become ashamed of the past you no longer connect with, and go to great lengths to destroy any histories which contain you. How do you do this? Do you succeed? If you physically tear out a page of a book, an actual physical real-world book, not an in-game book, gain 1 skill. If not, check a skill. So I will not do that. So I will check a skill. So let's figure out what I do to destroy some of my old history that I'm in. That is a really intriguing prompt. So let's see. Let's take a look at what skills I have. That'll kind of help me decide what I'm going to go with. All right. So let's see here. Entertain the rich, boldly feed, gruff passage, and playing cards. Interesting. So I feel ashamed of this history that I'm connected to. There is definitely okay. So several prompts back, a while back, he got this book written in Arabic that was a science book, and as wars go, soldiers. Not sure if they're. I'm not sure if they're taught by their leaders or their country or what, but it's the idea that generally, soldiers, at least when a war starts out, they start off with a very bad impression of their enemy. Their enemies kind of have it coming. They have in some way threatened your home country, your home, your family, and they need to be dealt with, and they're lesser than. And I won't say that's been like a huge thing through history in the sense of completely demonizing the enemy, but that certainly has a place in every single war that's ever been. Demonizing your enemy makes it easier for you to kill them, and makes it easier for you to destroy their property, their achievements, their anything. So yeah, so there was this point of several prompts back where he read this book, and I think he might have forgotten about it already, but anyway, but he still has that. He still has the book itself, and has memory of that at least. So I'm going to say there comes a point where he was ashamed of the Saracen blood that he spilled. He was told that they were hellbound, they were of the devil and whatnot, so it was easier to destroy them through the Crusades. Again, if you demonize and dehumanize your enemy, it doesn't hurt you as much emotionally. And maybe, and again, as a vampire with fleeting memories, and they come and they go, and you relearn things, I can totally see how this he could suddenly just this hits him like a brick wall, and he's got to do something about it. I'm going to say he comes upon a library Now, I'm not sure if I ever originally stated this, but I specifically did not want to be, um, one historical event to start his thing off with, that the Battle of, I forget the heck it was. It's in this intro movie, but one famous battle was more than enough. I wanted to kind of keep him away from major plot points of history. I'll bend that rule here and there to make things interesting, but like I didn't want to, like, his knight and he were not like Hospitallers or oh yeah, why am I forgetting the name of the big one? Templar. Wasn't a Templar. Um, but I'm gonna say that I do come upon like a kind of a Templar, not museum, but let's call it a library. Templars, would keep records. These were, historically speaking, Templars were businessmen. They made a lot of money. They traded in a lot of money. I believe they even had their own banking system, if I recall. So this is far, Templars, the order was far beyond, the Crusades and stuff. This was a business. Um, so yeah, so I'm gonna say, yeah, they definitely kept. There's a library somewhere, you know. Do I want to say Poland or do I travel on? I'm gonna say probably Poland. I mean, they're they traveled far and wide, and yeah, so let's call it. Let's say that. So I'm gonna say that he just does it. He basically decides to go in there and he starts, setting fire to stuff, and his sword comes out. He still while it's not his original longsword, he still absolutely carries a sword. Let's check it. And let's go write that journal. All right. All right. All right. So this will be 49. This will be our 25th prompt. This is 49. The first. And let's kind of traipse ahead a couple of years. 1175. The fleeting of years don't really matter here. Now, I haven't addressed many prompts yet, and so it's been a couple of years since I've addressed Aziz or Saul. So I'm wondering if they're still with me. Oh, so that's the breaking point. Okay, I wonder, maybe that's it. So that's kind of what triggers this memory. All right. So oh, so we all see that. So okay, I got it. I got it. While in Poland, we, as a traveling group, come upon the Templar library. The three of us enter out of interest. And then we find ourselves reading tome after illuminated tome. Histories of the Crusades, battles therein, and the combatants who fought them. My name actually came up in a book detailing what was the battle from the intro? Let's call it the last battle of the First Crusade. As a participant, and detailed how I took the lives of no few Saracens during said battle. Aziz could not stomach what I had been or what I had done. Ooh, this is a big crossroads here. And let's see. Left my companionship that night. I'll say Saul stays with me. Saul remained my steadfast companion. In my anguish, fury, because it's not just angry. Anguish, angry, fury. My anguish, fury, and newfound hatred of what I had been. I began destroying the library and killing any attendants therein, feeding as I went. When I was done, the entire structure was aflame and collapsing in my wake. And I ventured from the kingdom of Poland that very evening. Poland. Okay. Let's create a memory. All right. Let's see. So these are Z's. Oh wow. Do I get rid of a Z's or is it time to get rid of my origins? Oh, this is a good one. This makes a lot of sense to get rid of this memory for this time. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. All right. Looks like we're giving up our origin story, or at least that and some other goodies. And you know what? No, I won't move it to a diary because that defeats the entire purpose of doing it for this. Prompt here. Otherwise, I would. And of course, my family is doing all kinds of stuff in the background, but they have stuff to do, and I'm in the area they need to do it. Let's see. This up a little bit. All right. Cool. Oop. All right. Bring that over. Okay. Let's create the new memory. Fine. All right. Let's see here. All right. Sorry about that. Check the background. All right. Let's see here. So let's make a new memory. We just lost our name, kind of, sort of. So I might be taking a new name. I wonder if the next prompt will affect that. Let's find out. But first, let's get this memory. So, Aziz leaves me over accounts of my actions during the crusade. First crusade. So I destroy the library that contained them. The fire of the act purges my memory of who I had been for the blood All right. Okay, so that's very momentous. I've now given up my very first experience. They're gone. So that is interesting. I'm kind of in the wind now. This leaves a lot of interesting plot lines to go through here, potentially. Let's see here. All right, so let's go straight to a new prompt. -1. All right. Let's see here. So 48. I was in 49. A lot of reading. I'm in like a reading section here. Let's see here. While reading, you find records of a person you're sure is you from ages past, conducting your affairs with people you can't remember. Create 2 mortal characters from your past. Strike them both out immediately. Interesting. So while reading, you find records of a person you're sure is from ages past, conducting your affairs with people you can't remember. That's a weird one. I get where it's going for, but I just literally wiped out my past meeting or past stuff, past memories. Let's see here. So create 2 mortal characters. Let's see. Well, I struck out like the origins, but maybe they happen a lot further along the road. So let's make the characters right away. Make 2 characters and strike them out immediately. Right. Okay. So oops. So let's see. Who are they? But apparently, Guillaume does a whole lot of reading these days, for good or for bad. Not that reading's bad. Reading good. Let's see here. Let's get letters down. So let's say like someone from they had to have like camps. Um, you know, again, I've already kind of talked about like camps that they had in, as they were going like to or from battles, or as they're coming back, going down the road or back from the road. So let's say that again, I want it to be before my obviously it has to be before my immortality hit. So this is a weird one. Again, since I just got rid of my origins, this has been a lot easier if this didn't come right now. Um, but let's say it was uh Yasmina. Let's see. She is daughter of a merchant who became a merchant herself. Let's see. Read. Brother Yasmina, who is the merchant figurehead behind his sister. I like strong women. I like this idea that, Reed was the man of the family who was supposed to take over from the merchant line, and couldn't hack it, but Yasmina could, and did it herself. So literally they had it was a record of him literally conducting business with them. So we had to strike them out right away. Unfortunately, they sound like interesting characters. I would have would like to get to know them a little better. But let's put in the gym layer. That'll blank them out there. All right, so let's go do a journal entry. All right, so let's see here. It was 49. This is 48. Yep. Okay. So this is 26 prompt. 48. 1 and and roll ahead a year. Can't hurt. Excuse me. Try skin. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Saul has discovered that reading of pasts even before him is an interesting pastime. So we find ourselves in old libraries as much as we find ourselves in gambling parlors. We can't forget the gambling. Ooh. I wonder if... Oh. You know what? I wonder if they had... So, what I'll read is gonna... Oh, I got this. So, I figured out a new name, though. Here you go. Alright, here we are. Sorry. Let's see. As I go through some historical items from the era of what I believe was my youth, I found what can only be an account of myself while still mortal. The details ring too truly for it not to be me. The merchant, God, did I forget the name already? Let's see here. Harid and his sister, Yasmina, sold me several pounds of feed for my horse, as well as having sharpened my sword for me. They do a lot of stuff in that little traveling caravan. Let's see here. They must not have known my name, so my moniker is listed instead. It is a name of Saracen origin, so cannot be my own. And I'm assuming, like, the way it works with this memory is, like, he forgets about his origins, his name, etc. And Saul kind of just goes with it over time, as with I'm sure any of his, fellow travelers would, kind of like, oh, I can't, what's my name? It's like, oh, well, what do you want to be called? And, eventually this type of thing comes along. So let's take just because I'm curious. Let's see here. Look at making her big still names. Let's see. That's of course a modern one. Let's see. Let's see what we have. And all these baby names pages come with, like, the meanings and stuff like that. So let's find something that is interesting that that these merchants would have found, something noteworthy about him or something. Let's see. Let's see here. That's an interesting one. Let's say it's Salah. S-A-L-A-H. I'm Salah the vampire. So Salah means good or righteous. Like, I have to assume that any merchants who like saw crusaders, go off to battle, etc., they had to be these monsters, to a degree. Again, any soldier that like, is totally okay with taking a lot of human life, there's something in them that has to accept that on some level. And I gotta think that maybe when they met him, he wasn't ready for that. Like, so good, righteous. He probably spoke with them and had conversations about how it was in service of God and etc. Even though they were Saracens, not every Saracen was the enemy over there. Um. So yeah, he's now Salah the vampire. Who knows from whence he came? All right, so let's make the memory and we'll continue on. All right, so they're already gone. They've been gone for like at least 60 years, probably, maybe a little less, but still gone. So let's change up his name while we're thinking about it. Let's see here. Move that to GM and Law. Okay. All right. Yes. So now we have to do the memory. Okay. Where would this go? Ooh, is this time to get rid of Aziz? Is this what a vampire would do? You know, is it now time to purge Aziz from the files, so to speak? Or what else do we have here? Because I don't think this is really a memory that I could pop in here. It doesn't have any connection to Aziz. Um, let's see. Let's see. Or do I really care about this memory here? Ooh, good stuff. Because I like, do I still want to keep Aziz my memories to kind of fear some maybe future anger or something like that? Interesting. Um, yeah, this is noteworthy, but you know what? Just for kicks, let's move this to my diary. Call that the third memory. Interesting. So this is like kind of again reading about people reading about me. Irony. All right, so that's memory number 3. I have 4. Thank you, Lobby. So let's make this memory. All right. Let's see. In finding an old account of several merchants, I find a listing of what had to have been me, but renamed. I am now Salah. Ironically, the good and righteous. Ah. All right. Cool. Let's see here. Let's do a prompt. 6. It's a big number. All right, so that's 48, 54. Oh. Oh my goodness. That was an interesting one. So 54. A group of mortals discover you and treats you like a god. How do you fail them? So this is a kind of a nothing prompt. Nothing changes, but it's a story segment, so we'll go with it. Let's see. So this is just going to be a journal entry and a memory. So let's. The group treats me like a god. Interesting. All right. So this is prompt 27. Oop. What is it? 27. Let's see. 54. 1. And let's get this again. Let's skip years. There's really no need to, keep it same year or anything. There's nothing really keep tying this together for me, so I feel good about jumping ahead several years of prompt. Let's see, and eventually we're gonna. I can imagine we're gonna jump ahead like a century or two at some point, but that remains to be seen. So 1180, he's now like he'd be almost 100, almost a century old vampire at this point. All right. So where is he traveling? Let's take another quick look at the world map as it was. And let's see. So many cool places to go. Let's say he's traveling kind of parallel to Russia. He's in Lithuania. Lithuania it is. Okay. As the years go on, Saul and myself find our path leading through Lithuania. The people are common. I'm going to say at the end, I'm not judging them as a people, but all people are especially superstitious. I'm going to call them common superstitious. And at the same time, hold reverence to the heavens. During one, let's see here. So like, let's see here. One morning that came too quickly found us holed up in a church. Let's see here. Just before nightfall, the local, what was he, pastor? And some congregants came in to find us. Saul and I. They didn't know what to make of Saul, but when they found me dead, and then I started moving and breathing, instead of thinking me a devil, they were inspired to believe that, like Lazarus, I had risen from the dead. All right, so that kind of shows how they kind of see me as a god. I'm gonna go with this, but then how do I disappoint them? That's an important part of this prompt. Before long, they came to treat me as some kind of divine messenger. representative, and lavished me with what few riches the village had. Oh, I got it. So when my feedings began weakening the populace, at first they took it as a plague. To cure it, all that I had to do was stop eating from them and use sustenance from outside of the village for a time. But on one of my outings, I was injured badly by a black bear. Black bears beat vampires at really close yardage. At least at first. So, I was injured by a black bear and returned to the village to heal. In my pain and in need of healing, I drained. Oop, getting to a drain thing. Oh, hey, Dr. Arculari. We're going to blood mode. How's it going, Doctor? Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. You caught us in the middle of a feeding session. I'm just about to drain some villagers dry. But not a happy vampire. Alright. Well, I was badly injured by a black bear and returned to the village to heal. In my pain and in the need of healing, I drained a small portion of the populace dry right there in the church. When the others came upon me and saw, they recoiled in understandable horror and regret. Even as I left that night, the pastor who had originally welcomed me to the village and saw me as divine killed himself in killed himself in oh no, I can't use regret twice in the same two sentences. Killed himself in despair at his original decision. Saul and I left the village half dead in our wake, but I was healed. Ooh. Alright, so let's make the memory real quick. And go to the next. Let's see here. Let's see. Does this belong anywhere? Can this... let's see, leaves me. Oh, I'm going to call this memory one is going to be the thing that holds together is regrets. This is definitely one of his regrets. He did not mean it to go down this way. He was enjoying the divine feel and being able to have this effect on people for a while at least. Try to get rid of the blood face. We can get rid of that for now. He is finished feeding. All right, so let's see here. When I awoke at dawn in a small Lithuanian village, they took it as a divine happening, and saw heavenly messenger, I would eventually repay their worship with murder, leaving them behind to die even as I healed. Okay. Excellent. All right. Let's see here. Next prompt. 1. Moving ahead 1. All right. So let's see here. What number was I on? Let's see here. That was 54. Oh, here we go. 54 plus 1 is 55. This is weird. Let's see. This is a weird one. I'm not going to call this one nonsensical and cop out of it, but it's a weird one. So let's see. You know what? So this is gonna be interesting. Okay, so the prompt is you and another immortal character attempt to use one another as a food source. Create a new character if necessary, but I'm not going to. I have several to choose from. So how does this affect your relationship? How does it make your body both better and worse? In skill related to these bodily changes, on your next roll, reverse the dice, subtracting the d10 from the d6. That's a very involved prompt. Alrighty. Well, let's see. Let's figure this out. So let's go to characters. So, wow. So the question is, do I bring Aziza back in? I have Victoria, I have Saul, and Dimitri and Lamia as my immortal characters that I have to pull on here. I think it has to be a vampire. Feeding on Saul and Saul feeding on me, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I think it has to be one of the and Dimitri maybe, but I don't know. I just wonder if it's time to. This is a good time to pull Lamia into this. We really haven't heard of her since the beginning, and we've seen like little shades of her since then. But is like, does she? She needs to feed on me for some reason, and I on her. And how does this change us? Or how's this change me, and what skill? Ooh, interesting. Oh, I got it. I got a good one. Okay, okay. Um, okay. All right, let's do this. I got an idea. It's gonna be interesting. Let's go to the journal and let's do it. I'm gonna do the journal first, then we'll do like the skill and etc. Let's see here. So 55. Okay, so this is the 28th prompt of this game. 8, 55. It's the first. And again, let's let another bit of time go by. 1190. 1190 Common Era. All right. So where are they? Let's take just a second to look at the map. Again, I really don't care too much. I just want to, for flavor, I would like to say where the heck I'm at. Let's see here. And it's a decade later, so he definitely has time to move. I'm gonna say that he heads up to let's call it the Kingdom of Sweden. So somewhere in there. Let's do that. Let's go with that. All right. While in the Kingdom of Sweden, Saul and I march down our path as only we can. On one lonely night, in the middle of the wilderness, we are beset by let's see, a brutalized figure. Let's see here. I just want to look back real quick at my memories. Make sure I'm not messing with any memories I shouldn't have. Okay, no, I do still have my memory of Lamia, so let's go with that. Cool. All right. So yes, voice figure recognizer, straight away as Lamia, the one who had made me into the monster that I am. She was wounded mortally, were she mortal. Her, let's see, so the left side of her torso was cleaved from neck to waist, as if by a large and heavy sword or axe. It was held together by, let's see, sinew from plants, and stitched it together in a grotesque manner. Her blood was everywhere. At first, my instinct was to kill her. She had taken me against my will, and I had harbored no few thoughts of revenge. Since then, but before I could strike, she held up a hand and promised to give me the power to create progeny of my own, but only if I gave her of my blood. She would give me her powerful blood in return once she had healed, which would in turn empower my own to certain feats, to include creating other vampires. I decided to take her up on her offer. Saul would remain with her when I was gone to feed on travelers down the nearby road, then coming back to feed her in return. The process went on for weeks until Lamia had healed fully, whereupon she spent several days infusing my own form with her blood. we parted without malice, though I was sure that her dealings with me as her creation were not yet finished. All right. Cool. All right, so I've just basically this whole act got him to the point where his blood is powerful enough to create new vampires. Interesting. I did not see that coming, but it makes sense. So let's go and create that memory. Let's see here. All right, so this is Lamia memories. Let's see. When I first stroke. Let's see. Sanctuary. Was it time to forget about Dimitri altogether? Oh, not altogether. Oh, wait, actually, this might be. I might. Do I forget about Dimitri yet again? And now, if he crossed my path again, it's yet another total misunderstanding. Yes, let's do that. That sounds fun. All right. All right, so let's forget about Dimitri yet again. He's gone from my memories, much to his chagrin, since he is a little spent with me and he's immortal. All right. Do I have to make another page, I wonder? Might be time. Lappy says, poor Dimitri, he keeps coming back only to be forgotten about. Exactly. All right, I'm gonna copy this page. And we'll touch this up later when I have a little time. But in the meantime, let's just put stuff here. Excellent. Okay. Okay, so we forget a little bit of our travels in Vienna, and Dimitri is gone yet again. Poor bastard. All right, so let's go back to the memories and let's create this one. All right, come on, there we go. All right, let's see here. So Lamia crosses my path yet again, this time for healing and to pass on the ability to create new vampires. It is worth the trade to give up my immediate need for vengeance. Okay. Close enough. All right. Time for another prompt. 5. Oh, wow. All right. So let's see. This is 55. So 60. Let's see what we have. Oh, interesting. Interesting prompt. So the prompt is you partake in communal mortal activities such as feasts or dances, and your enjoyment is genuine. Create a mortal character who trusts you. Let's see. That's a good one. I like that. I think that's pretty cool memory. Let's oh, I almost forgot. Sorry. I still have to create the skill that goes along with this. So that's gonna be like creating vampires. Oop. Arrow 32. Create vampire. All right. Can I touch this one up quick? Yes, no. There we go. A lot of skills here. bodes well. All right, so yes, let's go to the next prompt, and I'll get the memory all ready to go here. Okay, so this is our 29th prompt of the game. Let's see, this is prompt 50, first one of that, and let's see, let's just for kicks, let's make it a even 1200. Why not? He's now well over 100 years old, 120 or so, all told. All right, so let's see here. Um, any? I'm gonna say still hang. Let's hang. Let's keep him in Sweden, like the Scandinavian lands. Um. All right. Let's see. So and alternately um travel and keep a home for some time as we travel throughout Sweden and its many beauties. At one point, we meet the acquaintance of a lesser noble who does have a castle as part of his fief. Our educated and rich natures, having kept both reading and gaining fortune through cards and other endeavors, inure is inure that's what I'm looking for, something to him. It's English is hard at some points. Let's see here. So there's the word. It will escape me until 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I'll remember it. Let's see here. In entice. Let's just call him. Let's just use entice. Entice is him, and before long, we are his guests in the castle for some time. He never asks why I keep only night hours and forgives me my comings and goings, forgives me my comings and goings from the structure. Nightly, we converse and debate no few subjects, and I enjoy the social aspect of his small court, their feasts and fetes. This is a new type of life for me, and I truly enjoy it. I enjoy him as a human and as an individual with great intellect and insight. Klaus is inspiring as humans, as mortals go, most mortals. And as I trust him, he trusts me I am soon known as one of his principal advisors. Cool. Let's create Klaus as a character. And then make the memory. Alrighty. Okay, Klaus. Minor Swedish noble who keeps me as an advisor. All right. Let's do the memory. Let's see here. Let's see. So I think I'm going to put this the thing that binds this memory to the other is like the thread is this new life I've created. So like when I left Aziz and he took off basically, and I gave up my old life, my old memories of my being. I took on this new one as Salah. And so like this is part of his new life, so let's go with that. A minor Swedish noble, Klaus, takes me in and keeps me as an advisor. Best with wisdom that I have. All right. Okay. Cool. All right, that's neat. Let's see here. Next prompt. We're cruising along. So it's almost we're almost 2 hours in already. Time flies. All right. So where are we? +4. Let's see here. Okay, so we're 60. Now we're going +4, so 64. Let's see where that takes us. Let's see. Ooh, this is interesting. All right, so the prompt is you find a substitute for your current food source. How is a change in sustenance expressed in your physical appearance? Gain a mark and a resource. Interesting. Let's see here. All right. Gain a mark and a resource. So I'm gonna say like along with this. So my intention is to kind of keep go through the years a little more slowly here. This seems like a good place to kind of make some memories in this court. Um, so I'm gonna say like, whereas it used to be like soldiers and whoever I'm on the road, now I'm eating, well-fed nobility instead of anemic serfs. So let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, Lumpy says, "Time flies when you're having fun, and fun we are certainly having. Absolutely." So let's see here. Let's keep it here. Um, so let's see what we got. I have some ideas here. So let's see. So mark. I'm getting a new mark. This is a new mark. I've not yet made one. This is the second one. So this will be. I think again these are kind of all these rich people of nobility tend to interbreed. We're talking interbreeders with, recessive genes and stuff. So I think then my next mark is like albinism. Um, Now let's see here. So my skin has gone wholly white. I wear headwear, or um, use pigment, like makeup basically, on my face when I can. Cool. My second mark after all these prompts. Here we are. A second mark. All right. So yeah. So all these feeding all these inbred, nobles, makes me an albino basically. All right. So I got that, and I get a resource. Um, I'm going to say. I'm going to say he. Let's see what. I'm just going to read the prompt one more time. Make sure I'm doing this right. What was a change substance expressing your physical resource? Give a mark and a resource. Okay, so um, I'm gonna say it has something to do with me staying around for long enough. Um, let's see here. Um, let's see. Swedish. Um, breaks. Let's see here. Bam, bam. And I get an idea of what some of these noble families do. I'm gonna say I'm basically there for long enough where I get some clout. I'm actually the counsel to Klaus. That carries some kind of weight. Let's do it that way. It's not directly related to my feeding change, but it's related to my feeding change. Let's see here. To Klaus. Okay, we don't need to go into history or the actual family names and stuff. I don't feel the need to do that right now. All right. So let's see. So that's 64. Let's go ahead and do the thing. Let's see here. Done. Let's see. So 50. Let's see. Am I doing this right, or am I 55? Let's see. No, did I do it wrong here? Hold on. Oh, 60, not 50. That's where I'm confusing myself. All right, so yeah. All right, so 64 now. All right, and this is prompt 30. A lot of prompts. Okay, so 64, the first prompt, and takes place in 1200. So, let's see. So, actually, let's jump up ahead just a couple years to kind of make for this transition. So, having fed for so long on rich and richly fed individuals of the noble castes, I find myself turning whiter and whiter hue until I have fully lost all color from my skin. while I've been taken even further into Klaus's confidence and been made an official counselor to his noble side. Side of. So where was I going with that sentence? Well, I've been taking you for the sign. I find myself even more entrenched in court. My ghostly skin on the few times that it gets noticed is taken lightly as an enigma as opposed to something of which to hold fearful. It is amazing what some political power can do to protect oneself. That's funny. Kind of a statement on, again, what any person in such a position would have felt in that time is, can you really do a lot of wrong? Not really. A blind eye will be turned, things will be forgiven, bribes paid, etc. So, very interesting. Alrighty. Let's make the memory. And let's see where we are. Might be time to get rid of one. I fear. Let's see here. Let's see. Well, let's keep going with this life he's forged for himself. Is, let's see. Now, council of plus. I find that rich inbred blood breeds a white ghostly hue to my skin. Blind eye is turned. For the most part. Interesting. I'm about to use up this, no, not about to, this memory has been pretty much used up. So, that is interesting. Alright, we're already ready for a new prompt. Let's see here. Ooh, pardon-moi. Okay. Alright, -2. Alright, so we were at 64. And -2, 62. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. So mortals create a modernized revival of a practice you used to partake in. Create a new skill similar to the one you checked long ago, whether or not you remember it. Ooh. All right. Interesting. So like I predate their revival of this thing. That's pretty cool. Neat prompt. I have to say these, for as scary as I was thinking these alternates were going to be, this isn't bad. All right, so I think we're about the right time. So swordsmanship, he fought with a long sword. So I'm going to say they're reviving fencing. They're creating like the next generation, if you will, with the rapier type swords instead of long sword type things. Little buckler shields or what do you call it? Cloaks instead of having both hands on the weapon, etc. So that's cool. Let's do that. That sounds neat. Let's go for Fencing. Cool. All right, let's make the journal entry and end with the experience as always. All right. So this is prompt 31. I'll say this is 62. Yep, 62. First one of that. 1203. Let's go with that. Let's see. I find several traveling combat masters are bringing a new type of sword to the street of combat. They are thin and tiny in comparison to my longsword, to the longsword that I used in my youth. But I see how with the casting away of more solid armors can bring about swordplay like this. Oops, sword play like this. Out of curiosity, I'm just going to look up. Again, I don't really care about the history, but I'm kind of curious. When was fencing invented? 1200 BC. That's fencing. Let's try rapier. Uh, 1500. So we're about 300 years ahead. So let's call them like let's call them small swords. Yeah, let's just go with it. We're good. This makes sense. Let's see here. Let's keep with it. Let's just go with it. Again, I'm not historically correct here. Let's call them small swords instead of just the actual rapiers of the 1500s. Let's see here. Yeah, so my description still holds it here. So the small sword is more useful for fighting in crowded places like taverns and the like. I see the wisdom in it. Picking up one such sword, it rolls through my fingers as if I'd held one for years. Yeah, I really want to let's keep the actual like rapier foil type thing for later on, assuming I live that long. But yeah, the small sword I think is appropriate. Pick what's the sword phrase? I held one for years, and I quickly become adept and known for my skill with the weapon, even as my normal occupation has become more or less completely advisory and political. Interesting. My prompts are getting shorter, but I'm not seeing as much to add. I kind of find myself like overly inspired by some, and like just kind of I get the prompt with the others. So let's see what the others bring. I do think as as the night goes on and my brain gets a little more tired, like probably the first prompts are longer, then medium, and then by we hit the 9 to 10 o'clock my last hour, they suddenly get a little shorter. So my brain is only so powerful, and it's not powerful to begin with. So you got to work with what you got. All right. So let's make them memory, and then we'll be moving on again. Let's see. Small. I'll call it small swords. Fencing. Okay. And let's go to memory. Let's see. Am I ready to give up part of Aziz? Yeah, I think I'm at that screw this dude type of place in my life as a vampire. You know, how we met is no longer this romantic type of thing that you cherish as a memory. He's the dude that dumped you for, just being who you were. He dumped you because of my past as a, murder of Saracens. So, yeah. All right, so let's get rid of meeting Aziz. It seems very appropriate. It's time. It's time. Bring that to the old memories. Got memories. Let's see. There we are. Cool. Yeah, Lappy chimes in very well, actually. Also, some prompts lend themselves to longer prose, while others lend themselves to shorter ones, even when the brain power is still at its peak. And yes, Hazine has done you wrong. Forget him. Thank you for the support. All right, so let's go back and make that memory without him. All right. Young swords masters bring about the art of the small sword, and I immediately take to it. The feel is ingrained in me. Okay. Bye, Aziz. At least one of the memories of Aziz. Again, what's so kind of so cool about this is like I was, saving those because I figured there would be more prompts that would really let me kind of explore the character of Aziz and our relationship, and they just never came. Again, one of the things that I've every instance of what I've read of this from they're all players, but from like yeah, either in like Reddit or reviews or from live actual plays, is like the prompts you can't plan. The prompts will destroy your plans. So again, in my head, I had all this. Oh, we'll save all these for Aziz, and it just never happened. And suddenly it occurs that it's a good time for him to leave, and now that memory I was saving just for him is gone. It's forgotten. There we are. Thank you for your support, Lobby. It's a very, very emotional time. But we're over him now. Is that also in addition to one of the harrowing things about being a vampire? Is this the best part about being a vampire? That you forget. They say time heals all wounds, but there's always that vestige of the wound because you remember it. Even vestigally, it's like in this back of your head, this tiny little memory. It's always there. But for vampires, they literally forget. There's potentially probably no coming back to it. So interestingly, that this is can be a boon as much as a horror. All right, so let's do the next prompt. -3. Oh gosh, we're going back. So let's see, where were we? Where are we? Oh, so 62 -3. 60, 59. Oh, interesting. Okay, so 59. You lose your diary in the midst of a long journey. Desperate to find it, you tear through the distance you covered. Either lose your diary or lose a memory. I let's see here. I think I'm okay with losing the diary. It's something I have to give up. Yeah. Yeah, this is again not anything that I truly care about. Um Yeah, I'm okay with losing the diary. So let's I bet I so I again I want to kind of stay I feel like this is a good place to stay for a while in terms of how I've been, with this noble Klaus. I think I want to continue. So these are like gone memories. I am gonna just blot them out for now. Just in case there is again there keeps being this thing where like and get back an old diary. So I will show these as gone pretty much, and let's figure out what we're doing. In the meantime, I'll get us ready for our memories. But let's go to the journal. Let's see here. Oh, before you, Lobby. It says, I think it depends on the memory and the person associated with it. Sometimes it's lovely to forget someone, but the other times it's painful. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And it's like, it, again, on one hand, it's like, I'm about to forget who I was, my name, my family, my mother's touch, my, dad teaching me things, mom teaching me things. I'm forgetting all of that, and that is horrific because then who are you? You literally have no conception of who you were. And because who you are is based on your memories, your experiences, that cuts that away. And again, I can totally see someone getting rid of just the right memories and they're like complete 180 from who they were when they started. In fact, I think that's pretty common in this game if you go along for enough prompts. So yeah, on the other hand, yes, to lose the to lose the memories that are hurtful is a blessing, kind of. But then again, you don't learn from it. You don't grow from it. So potentially lose. Let's see here. All right, so let's just make sure I got this. Okay, so 59. This is prompt 32. It's actual prompt 59. First one of that. And let's go 1205. All right. Let's see here. So again, I want to keep this going with Klaus. I'm kind of curious as to how this plays out. Did I put an extra there? Okay. All right. Let's see here. So on an emissary, a mission as an emissary to a nearby noble, hoping to negotiate trade and a potential marriage. Ooh, I again, I did not see this coming. I just popped in my head, and now it's on paper. And a potential marriage to join Klaus's family and theirs. During the journey, we let's go travel through a tremendous blizzard, and it follows us for nearly a week. We lose several men in the process from the cold and nearly run out of provisions. as we near the neighboring, let's call it a duchy for all intents and purposes, duchy, I find that my diary has been one of the trip's casualties. Frantic for it, I backtrack, sending the others along as they hold strong for their lives. In my let's see, in my frenzy to find the book, I feed on no few winter animals and an entire what is it called, den of bears as they slumber to give me strength. I never do find the book, and eventually rejoin my party a week late. And the negotiations continue well, and I contain my frustration at losing this tome of memories. I have not married off Klaus's. I haven't figured out what kind of nobility he is, but maybe he's some kind of a Swedish duke equivalent of Klaus's. And I got this fly flying around me. It's killing me. It's like, it's taunting me. I'm not sure if you can see on the camera. I'm gonna kill this thing sooner than later. Klaus's daughter. Klaus has a daughter. Didn't know that until just now. Let's see here. But it is potentially still in the cards, as they say. This thing pisses me off. Okay. So let's go make the memory. And let's see here. Am I gonna have to lose something, I think? Maybe it's time to get rid of Aziz completely. Let's see here. All right. Yeah. Yep. Time to dump Aziz completely. He's gone. He's memory. All right. Bye, Aziz. Okay. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. During a mission of negotiation for Klaus, I lose, lose. Is that a Freudian slip? My diary into Blizzard, and it is never found. Whatever had been written on those pages is lost, and I feel it's lost. All right. All right, we're on to another prompt already. Let's see how it would do. Okay, ooh, 8. Okay, so let's see here. But we're on 59. Plus 8 is 67. Let's see here. 66, 67. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, so this is definitely feeding into my time with Klaus. I like this. So the prompt 67 reads, you try to build something that will outlast you. What is it? What do you sacrifice for it? Lose a resource. So, oh, interesting. So I don't get a resource. I have to sacrifice something to do this. So I was thinking like, oh, if I get a resource, I'll call it my own, like small castle or something. I'm building my own, you know, you know, fief underneath of Klaus. But maybe this is like I don't have my own line, so maybe I'm looking after Klaus's line. It sucks I don't get a resource to represent it though. That does suck. So let's see. So I lose a resource. What am I willing to spend to make this happen? Let's see. Resources. What do I have? I think it's time to give up this boulder of gold. So I think I'll go on kind of with what I was doing, where I'm trying to, get him married, his kid married off, continue his line. And sometimes it takes a bunch of gold, but people will marry who you want them to if you give them a big boulder of gold, even if it's like a cantaloupe-sized boulder. So yeah, cool. I like that. Let's see here. All right, so let's go to the what you call it, and this fly is still flying around and upsetting me. I can't kill it. I'm not fast enough. Let's do this. Oh, you're dying now, you little bastard. Oh, nope. It. Here, I like the worst vampire player ever. I literally can't even kill a fly. All right, so this is prompt 33 of the game. Wow. So I suppose am I averaging so far 11 per session, given this is the third. So 33, the 33rd prompt. It's prompt 67. And it's the first, and we'll make it the same year. So 1205. 1205 Common Era. Loppy says, maybe Aziz sent the fly in retribution for Guillaume's past and forgetting him. Hee. Aziz would be so cruel, wouldn't he? True story. Bastard. Bastard. He should have put a ring on it. Oh well. Let's see. Alright, so let's do this. I continue. Oops, sorry. Bring over here. Let's see. So I continue my negotiations with close noble neighbors and continue to find a match amongst them for Klaus's daughter. Now, she isn't a character yet, so I don't feel like I'm allowed to give her a name yet, but we'll see what the prompts bring us. Right now, she's just generic Klaus's daughter. Eventually, let's see. Let's take one more look at the world map and see if somewhere is close. Let's just to break it up. Let's a young man in the kingdom of Norway. Oh, this fly is killing me. Oh, you little bastard. I have old man reflexes. This is not happening. Eventually, young man in Norway. Okay, Norway comes to Salah's notice and he makes the arduous journey to the lands of the boy's father in an effort to secure a joining of the families. Let's see here. Klaus's lands have a bit to be desired by the noble father. But after days of back and forth, and is it forth or yeah, there we go. Days of back and forth, the appearance of a large boulder of gold placed on the table secure the marriage. Klaus's line will continue on steadfastly even after he has perished. I have found that I love this man as a leader and as a friend, and to see his progeny succeed and carry on through the world fills me with great happiness. This is just the first step in maintaining his legacy. I'm gonna have to. I want to give him a name, like a last name, like some kind of historic kind of, like. So let's see. So, Kingdom of Sweden, Swedish. There we go. We're gonna find out some names here. I for some reason, and I don't know where it's hitting me from, but von Strauss is very familiar to me. It just rings. Let's see if I can find anything interesting on it. It just popped up as one of the names. Let's see here. Von Strauss. And of course, it's one of the Wikipedia links. It doesn't have a link. Bastards. All right. Oh, he's a von Strauss. The family, let's see, the line of Klaus von Strauss will carry on. Nice. Cool. And let's, just for kicks, let's go ahead and, as kind of the rules tell you to, when you use a character in prompts, every now and then, or at least, or not every time, I don't think, but when you can add to it when something interesting occurs. So let's von Strauss. Is there? And for whom I have oh, you little bastard. For who I have negotiated the marriage of his daughter to another noble. Okay, so my service to him continues. Alright, so let's make the memory. And let's see where that goes. Oh, this is actually an interesting one. So I was like, oh gosh, where am I going to put this? But this actually, here, this works here. So this is about Lamia giving me the ability to create new vampires. So it's like she gave me the ability to create my line, and I'm like helping this other guy create his line. So let's see here. So successfully secured the marriage of the daughter of Klaus Lundstrom to a Norwegian noble. It makes me proud to help carry on his line. Close enough. All right. Yeah, I think we're ready for another prompt already. Okay, 6. Wow, big numbers these days. All right. So let's see, we're at 67 plus 6 is 73. Let's see. Ooh, interesting. All right, so 73. The next fresh blood you drink makes you horribly ill without a cause that you can find. Check a skill to avoid being caught off guard. Interesting. Oh, you little bastard. Oh my god. Anyone who watches this video later is gonna be like, what is that guy doing? He's losing his freaking mind over a fly. But it's a big fly, and it's an annoying fly. And it deserves to die. But I'm good with that. Anyway, let's see here. Okay, so yeah, so that's an interesting one. So check a skill. Oh, you little bugger. Oh, kill me. All right, so next fresh blood you drink makes you horribly ill without cause. Check a skill to avoid being caught off guard. I wonder what that means. Let's see here. Do. Little bastard. Okay. Let's do entertain the rich. I think this finally is going to come in handy. So let's check this. Okay. So I think I have something good for this. Let's go to the journal. All right. So this is prompt 34. Let's see here. It is 73. It's the first one of that, and let's advance it here. 1206. All right. Let's see. One night, I am unable to leave the castle to feed, and I need blood desperately. Having been hunched over no few tomes in my research of the local area and some of its superstitions. Let's see. While I avoid feeding on individuals in the castle proper, I break my rule and feed on an older woman who is a vassal of my lord. Ooh, I actually called it. Again, it's so interesting how these prompts just make you create things on the fly. I did not expect that. So now I actually call him my lord. I actually see him as someone who I feel has some kind of hold over me, some kind of authority over me. Interesting. Even though I'm the vampire, I could tear everyone in that place apart and no one would ever find any evidence to link me to it, and I'd be long gone. I see him as my lord. Interesting. Let's see. Her blood disgusts me, and I find myself recoiling from her, even as she slips and nearly falls down the stairwell. I catch her as I feel myself gasping for air at the revulsion that I feel over the liquid still on my lips. I am about to put the woman down on the floor at the base of the stairs. Oop. When some revelers... Oh, you little bastard. Almost got him. Ah! Oh, I'm gonna be a fly murdering after this stream. Alright. Alright, so I'm put on the floor at the base of the stairs when some revelers come by. I wipe my lips and wrap her throat with silk at my side. Little bastard. Still nothing. Alright, on her side. She lives thanks to my lack of eating. But the revelers require some distraction lest they begin putting clues together, and I do not want this time with Klaus to end. I explain with the joke that I found her unconscious from her own reveling, and begin entertaining the group with stories of old, poking fun at them in just the right playful way, and being their jester for a night. A small price to pay to keep my secret. Cool. Sly is annoying me. Alright, I think we have time for one more prompt for tonight. So let's make this memory and then we'll get to it. Alright, so let's see here. Okay. Memories. Oh, those are forgotten memories, excuse me. Okay. Negotiation. Bastard. Alright, let's see. Interesting. Again, I find I want to leave this memory for Klaus, but who knows what the hell happens. Let's see, I didn't want to. Oops. Alright, let's see. So put this there. Alright, so let's see where this memory goes. It's a pretty inconsequential one. Again, I kind of find myself using this, keeping this for Klaus, but I may not be coming back to him. Who knows? Let's see. That's about the line. I want Klaus. A Klaus memory. Looks like let's get rid of this one. I don't find any real use for this Swordmasters thing. I already have the skill that I'll know whether or not I keep the memory of it, but let's see. So let's this will be a God memory. Oh, come on. All right, let's bring this over to Forgotten. There. Okay. So okay, let's make the memory. Let's see here. Okay. In trying to hide the strange revulsion I have at the blood of one of the old women from the castle, I turn into a court jester for a night. It is a refreshing change of pace. Sounds reasonable. Okay. All right, let's do one more prompt on that. I think that's going to be it for tonight. Time flies. No pun intended, Fly, who I will murder right after this. All right. Okay, let's do the prompt. -3. All right, so that takes me, let's see, 73 minus 3 is 70. Let's see. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay, so prompt 70. You enslave a mortal to be your thrall as a food source. But soon, you and the mortal become involved. Create a mortal character. Oh, wow. This has to be the last one of the night when this is going to be a tough one. All right. So let's create a mortal character right away. So this is not, the description there is not like a friendly relationship. Well, at first at least. This is a thrall. This is someone who lives to give me blood. Let's see. Let's call this person Ingrid. Okay. All right. Let's see. So Ingrid, servant in the castle. Always attracting the boys. So she'll be my food source and a potential fetch for other food sources. Okay, so Ingrid. All right, so let's do that. So let's see. So 35, prompt 35. It's 70, first of that prompt, and 1207. Let's skip ahead 1 year. Ooh. Oh, excuse me. All right. As time goes by, and to keep a similar incident from happening again, where I need to feed on someone and am unable to leave the castle, I decide to take a thrall. Let's call it a term, at least that he's developed, if not the entire vampire community. I decide to take a thrall to feed from which to feed, from whom to feed, when necessary. Oh god, did I spell it wrong? I think so. Okay. Ingrid's blood is pure and unfettered by disease. So she proves valuable to me. And soon I arrange to keep her as my personal servant. while I start using her as just let's see, as just a thing to milk of its vital essence, she develops over time into the snare of a trap, leading young men into my arms when necessary. Interestingly, she sees this as a positive move, as every morsel that she safely brings to me is as one, or represents, brings to me, represents one feeding that I will not have to take from her. She becomes quite adept at finding the healthy young things for me to feed from when the need arises. And just as Klaus uses me as an individual to bounce ideas off of, I find that I include her in such sessions with Saul. Let's keep Saul on. We gotta mention Saul. I have not given up Saul yet. Saul. And in fact, the two become fast friends once he understands that I will not be doing away with her. And knows that the friendship is worthwhile. It was a worthwhile investment. All right. Cool. I think that, yeah, that's definitely going to be it. So let's see. So we've jumped ahead a bit. We've had a bunch of prompts tonight. I think we had a pretty good run here. I mean, we went from basically escaping Vienna with Aziz to losing Aziz. Basically, he turns his back on me. My vampire lover is gone. Um, so he's gone. I keep Saul the Golem with me. We do some more traveling, run into some people. Yeah, we definitely had an excellent run tonight, Loppy. And then we find Klaus, and this is one of those where time dilates and time zooms in, and this is one of those zoom in times where I'm kind of enjoying this subplot of being a counselor to this Klaus von Strauss, this individual of low to middling Swedish nobility. Has taken me in, and I'm part of this court right now. So this microcosm of this court and this time here where I'm this advisor and negotiator is an interesting time for me. I'm liking it a lot. I'm wondering when we're going to hit that prompt when it's just time to jump ahead again. I have a feeling it's going to be a devastating one. But that's how prompts go. We don't know until we get there. Cool. So with that, I'm going to wish you a fond farewell, Loppy, and anyone else watching. Thank you for joining me, and Guillaume d'Avignon, now known as what is my name now? I've taken on a new name because I forgot about my origin. So he is Salah, the vampire. So yeah, all these years with Salah, it's been pretty cool having Loppy and the others along with the way. Dr. Oculari visited me a little bit. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm Scott of Scott's Case Files. If you're watching me on Twitch here, all my stuff is below. You can catch me on my Twitters, Discord. All this will be on YouTube eventually. And of course, if you haven't followed already, go ahead and follow the channel, and you'll be alerted. And you hit the little button or whatever, you'll be alerted next time I play. But I do mostly Tuesdays and Thursdays with some Sundays. Tuesdays right now is Thousand Year Old Vampire. Thursdays is Tales from the Loop with my group. And Sunday, I'm actually toying with doing a one man talk show this Sunday for an hour. I just want to kind of test the water, see how that works. Anyway, thank you, Lappy. Lappy says, "Have a good night, sir. Thank you for letting us into Guillaume Salah's adventures. You are welcome, as always, madam." So yeah, have a great night, and I will see you soon. Take care and stay out of trouble. And unlike Salah and Guillaume, do no harm.